Kill the enemy team to score.
Right now, we are on board with SUDDOTH of Reality Check. Walsh, you said you wanted to see their opening strategy here.
Yeah, what I noticed was SUDDOTH went BR Bridge, obviously helped shoot over Sniper, and when I was watching some of these other lower quarters, we saw SUDDOTH 2 drop down to Sword and not just go for it right away, but back down towards BR1. Right. We've seen kind of the starting strats change over time. We used to see someone just drop down, grab Sword, charge bomb middle. We've seen players delay it because there are actually some grenades you can throw from Snipe Tower, from the back of Snipe Tower, down to Sword Spawn. So we've just seen different metas and different changes in how players play the start list. I just want to see what Reality Check did there.
Yep, okay, yeah, and now you see we've updated that graphic now on board here with SUDDOTH. Of course, like we said, Team Slayer on lockdown, a team game that, of course, has the potential to play a little bit slow. We'll go ahead and see right now, check out the Reality Check roster. It looks like a top blue push might be coming, but shots being exchanged from Library to top blue, and SUDDOTH is going to need to stay alive here. We'll stay on board with him for just a second, see if grenades come flying in. They do, but SUDDOTH is gracefully avoiding those now with a small lead here. Let's go over to SUDDOTH 2, who's hanging out in the window right now. He does have the sword in hand.
Reality Check could be in some trouble here. We saw SUDDOTH was out of ammo. We see that they do not have a sniper. However, they do have swords, so maybe they can make a great push with this.
Yep.
It's going to rely on this next sniper because I'm assuming the first one was blasted off the map because both teams challenged for that right at the beginning. I've seen a lot of teams that spawn blue or start as the blue team and spawn at Snipe Tower. They'll usually either grenade the barrels or shoot them just so the red team cannot get the sniper out front.
Yeah, that was an assault rifle rush. Looks like Reality Check is going to extend their lead to 4 right here and potentially be going right now. And yes, this is a Reality Check rush as they push across the map. Sword is out. Here comes, looks like SUDDOTH trying to get that lunge there, but unable to do so. But excuse me, we're on board with SUDDOTH 2 right now. We'll get that updated, but he's finally taken out now off the spawn. We'll see what decision he makes.
Sexix Pulse must have not known that snipers on respawn are coming up because you could tell Reality Check wanted to push Snipe Tower, and for some reason Sexix wanted to push BR Tower. Yeah. So there's miscommunication.
Definitely, and I mean now we almost have a tied game here. We'll jump back on board with SUDDOTH here. Now 8-7 as he's going to try to push across glass. They just had the 4-0 lead, but that was quickly not only cut in half, but essentially erased.
What happens in this game type all the time, like you said, is there's definitely moments of quiet, just followed by minutes of chaos. As you can see right now, no team is set up yet. There's a sniper in top center.
Yeah, I mean, that's Mikey. We'll go ahead and switch over to him on the B2 side. No, Mikey is actually taken out. I'm going to keep an eye on these players here. Right now, over to, let's see, apologies there. We're now on board here with Mikey. We'll see if he can go back out to library entrance and grab that sniper rifle, or if a teammate has already done so. But that's 3 dead. As you see on his screen, he's desperately trying to stay alive and not be the 4th to die, and avoiding some grenades there. Tries to push through, but he got surrounded.
Reality Check knew that he was the last person over on library side, and they wanted to clear him out. That way they can get a full BR setup. So Mikey was doing a good job at first, but essentially was taken out.
That's right now 15-10. Sexix Pulse right now needs to get their act together, otherwise they will be eliminated for the tournament. And the sword falls into his lap there. Surprisingly, he kills Shooter. Shooter did not have the sword out.
This is such a chaotic game. The very first minute, we only saw, what, 1 kill within the first minute and a half? And then ever since, we have not seen a full setup. We've seen both teams just vying for control. And one thing to do during these chaotic times, if you're one of those players that are unsure to play lockdown, is immediately get control of your tower. Be a little selfish. Worry about yourself. If you are at BR Tower, try to get up to BR3 and watch your back. If you're at Snipe Tower, just worry about your surroundings before cross-mapping.
Yep, I'm going to go now over to Storytime, who does have the sword in hand right now. He's at the Sniper Tower. 20-13 is the score. We'll see if he can lock down this area. They're only down by 7, Dave. If they do get a sniper rifle, potentially some good pushes, they can get right back in this. And the sniper rifle now in the hands of Storytime. He has the deadly combo at the Sniper Tower.
Now, I love this combo when I'm alone at Snipe Tower, but I do like this play.
Yep.
Drop the sword, realizing, you know what, I don't want to die with both of these. That could, that could screw over my entire team if I lose both power weapons.
And kind of just like, diversifying your weapon portfolio there, so make sure that a player with the sniper rifle is watching the top, and a player likely with the sword is watching the bottom.
Yeah, and it's so easy for that sword player to rotate, because right now what's going to happen is Storytime, he can be a little bit more aggressive. He can poke out, try to get that body shot or headshot even after he takes a couple BR shots.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to peek over while we stay on board with story time. I'm going to peek over at the reality check side. We have SUDDOTH 1 in the library as well as Shooter. They're right at the library entrance. SARGOTH is in the window, potentially in a dangerous spot in a moment, and SUDDOTH 2 is back BR. Actually, story time might see them right now, might get a glimpse as SUDDOTH 2 now pushes top BR, but none of the reality check roster, Walshy, is showing for story time.
They're hiding. They realize that, you know what? Sexix Pulse is not just going to make some random charge across the top center, so we don't have to completely watch top center. However, Sexix at some point is going to have to find that angle. And I think he's wasted too much time here at elbow. I would have already rotated bomb blue and looked for that window
check
snipe.
out that window angle. He's going to look at that right now. We'll see. He's going to peek really quick and see if he can find a player who might be cheating over. Looks like we also have a top mid rush coming. Let's see if that actually is a player there. It looks like Hot Coco. No, excuse me. That's a poor error on my part. He's actually in the upper corner of that under glass with the shotgun.
Yeah,
it scared me for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if that's a good decision.
As far as seeing seeing that logo in front of us, but I'm still not agreeing with these story time angles. I think at this point you've noticed that reality check, they're committed to hiding.
Right.
You can get a little bit more aggressive. You can lift up the top blue.
Right.
If you want.
I think the top blue is the right play here for story time. So far he has not seen anything. Reality check playing very disciplined here, not showing for him. At this point, though, we are seeing some shots being exchanged from the battle rifle tower, right? So Storytime could actually cycle back to S3 and kind of reset a bit.
Yeah, sometimes teams will have the strategy where, all right, you know what, we're going to hide for a minute or two, and now we're going to realize that sniper is most likely going to rotate somewhere else. Yep. So we can poke back out and try to either kill more time or maybe get a pick off where we can shoot across the map. Yeah,
kind of like going back to these more traditional angles, but it looks like Reality Check is well aware and likely tracking Storytime as he moved up that elbow, so they're not going to be able to pick up anything here, but Reality Check is not moving. Storytime hits the body shot. Might they push? Sometimes, Walshy, you might see that. When teams aren't given that much room, even a body shot can be enough to push, right?
Yeah, I've seen it plenty of times before where they're just waiting for the one pick or a body shot and all pushing across. But as you can tell right there, all of Sexix was not ready to push.
Right.
They would have all flooded top center immediately, and you could tell they were not ready as a team to make that push.
Looks like
that could either be a missed opportunity or just miscommunication.
The gameplay slowed all the way down here as it looks like Hot Coco is still in glass trying to wait for that shotgun push. Getting creative with those nades here is Storytime, but not connecting on any of those. However, he will not get hit markers. However, there are two players still in the library entrance. It's Shooter and SUDDOTH, one on the other side. We'll see. Staying on board here with Storytime, seeing if he can get a shot here, but the score has not changed, I believe, Dave, in at least the last 2 minutes. This is one of the, truly the most disciplined plays here. Granted, Storytime did hit a few body shots and missed a few headshots, but Reality Check is surprising me with how they are really not giving Storytime anything at all to shoot at.
They're doing a great job because not only are they sometimes poking out, but as soon as they spot that sniper, they shoot him once and back down completely. They respect the sniper.
They do. They don't over-challenge. And what we usually see in a situation like this, Dave, is the sniper will actually start to cheat top middle, right? Because the players are turtled so much into BR and library that Storytime might use S2 to kind of push top middle a little bit and try to get one of those angles. And we haven't seen that yet. There is 7 minutes left in the game, so there's not a huge amount of pressure on this Sexix Pulse roster, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if they had to resort to that.
Yeah, Storytime has to be feeling the pressure not only from his teammates, but also the frustration.
Right.
You only get a glimpse of a player once every minute, and it's just for a fraction of a second. That is so frustrating, and that is something you need to spark.
And there he goes, and here he comes now, hits the second body shot. They're going to push in, but a player was waiting there in library for that push, and it looks like the Sexix Pulse roster, these two teams are going to trade right there, 2-2 now, 22-16, staying on board with Storytime off the spawn, looking to see where the enemy might be, finding a player at blue.
We are back in chaos mode for lockdown, so we went through the calm, we went through the eye of the storm, and we are back in the heat of it.
Yeah, we are now 23-16 now. SUDDOTH 2 picking up that kill on Hot Coco. Storytime forced to back down from Snipe 3, a wise decision. However, finding a player S1 does not get the stick. He's going to get taken out as well. Let's switch over to the Reality Check side as things have certainly shaken up quite a bit. SUDDOTH 2 getting a kill on library. Let's go over to SUDDOTH 2.
Although Sexix was able to get a couple kills, this is not the exchange that they wanted.
Right.
They wanted to get a few picks, come back, have a full set at BR and Snipe. As you can tell, they at most really traded still at about 7 or 8 kill deficit.
Yeah, exactly. That 8 kill deficit is not what Sexix Pulse wanted out of that push now. It looks like 2 players might fall. Storytime does have the sword in hand, but SUDDOTH 2 doing a nice job to take that player out and grab the sword. It's going to keep that 7 kill lead.
It's important to note that SUDDOTH 2 has to stay alive here. He has sword at Snipe Tower.
Oh, no, and that
more
might have,
importantly,
looks like that might have been a teammate. SUDDOTH 1 wanted the sword. He said, wait a minute, give me that. Now, we'll go, if SUDDOTH 1 stays alive, yes, he does. We'll go on board with SUDDOTH 1, who did just steal the energy sword from his brother with a plasma grenade.
I was trying to state the importance of holding a Snipe Tower because not only do they not want to spawn blue, but that sniper rifle is just about to come up.
And there it is now. Look at that easy time right there for SUDDOTH 1 and Sargoth to clean up that kill on story time. Now the sword is in hand. Nice job there with the sword switch as well. We're seeing the same thing on the reality check side as we saw on the Sexix Pulse side.
Doing a great job splitting with the power weapons, especially when they have a teammate with them. I was almost going to say that I would have preferred that he kept the sword there. I feel like it's not a bad combination during chaotic times because you're going to have so many players that are going to try completely flanking your sniper there.
Yeah, nice shots there from SUDDOTH 1 to be very aware of the players pushing up on elbow and trying to cheat out a little bit. We'll see if that nade connects. No, SUDDOTH 1 doing a nice job to dance around that, but he does get taken out from a back BR spawn, it looks like. So we'll see what's going on back on the Sexix Pulse side of the map. Story time will go over to him. It looks like he right now is fighting off a push across bottom middle with some teammates. They're going to try to bring it over to the Snipe Tower, but they are down by 11.
I don't think Sexix Pulse knows that this push is coming. They were expecting, hey, we got a couple kills finally, and Reality Check seemed to play very comfortably from BR setup. So it looked like they originally started the push, as we saw SUDDOTH 2, I believe, was pushing top center. But once again, Reality Check back in their turtle mode. They realized, hey, we have to let Sexix Pulse make a great push in order to stop us. And last time, even though they had sniper for about 4 or 5 minutes, they weren't able to do anything.
Getting creative with these nades. We'll see if he knows something that we don't, Dave. He might be hitting those, trying to get those into the library, but it looks like those are not going to connect after all, unless there was some crazy insta-explode action going on.
Pretty sure I saw a hit marker or a grenade marker on Sargoth's screen for a second, who happens to be on BR bridge.
Okay, yeah, let's switch over to Sargoth to also show the other side of this setup, right? Sargoth right now, super disciplined. Look at those bullets coming in. He doesn't matter. He's going to continue to watch glass and put down some shots, but that might give enough of an opportunity. Yes, no, Storytime actually did not push. I'm taking a look at his screen. Instead, he dropped to get the shotgun. Let's see if Sargoth is aware of that. It looks like he's confident that they were actually not able to push, likely from his help he has in window.
Yep, his teammate, they actually sent SUDDOTH 2 down to bottom BR just to make sure. Yeah. They have to clear out that bottom BR because they need to know, hey, that's the only chance that we're really ever going to get surprised and lose BR3. We're not afraid of that top center push. We can all double team up there.
Exactly, and you can kind of do a little bit of peek shooting and baiting and switching as well. Sargoth and team doing a really nice job there with the communication to make sure they lock down this map. But as you see, this is the other side of the setup that we've been watching the entire match. And it looks like a push is actually coming top middle right now.
And they are instantly shutting it down. They picked up one, shot library entrance, and they can't go trade.
But it looks like actually, let's go over to Mikey. He has a sniper rifle in hand. He's pushing across, just came across the library, goes to hit that headshot, but he does have help. We'll see if he can stay alive. He's taken down as well. That sniper rifle is going to fall down to the sword spawn. We'll stay on Mikey through the respawn. A decent push there, but they're still down by 11, Dave. They're breaking the setup, but at what cost, right?
They're just trading. And as you saw right there, how desperate Sexix Pulse is getting with these, last couple remaining minutes. They had to push all the way in the library with the snipe and just get in a trade there.
Right.
Obviously not what they want, because even if they got those picks, you could bet, again, Reality Check's probably just going to hole up wherever they're at, bottom blue or at Snipe Tower.
Right now, 2 minutes left in the match. We'll see if we need to go to the full time. Reality Check still in control of this game, too. Keep in mind, Reality Check wins. They will advance to losers bracket round 4. Sexix Pulse will go home 41-29. Now 42 is the deficit. Staying on board here with Mikey. It will require quite a bit of coordination to come back in this match.
Yeah, maybe Sexix Pulse is much more comfortable pushing from BR setup and haven't been able to get that setup yet. But from what I've seen so far, it just seems like Reality Check has been in control of this game. They've been very comfortable slowing down the game. And even though we had seen Reality Check shine in a fast-paced game like Ball Warlord, they just showed that they can play in both spectrums. They can play the fast, hardcore game like Ball Warlord and the slow, calm game like TS Lockdown.
Yeah, I just switched over to SUDDOTH 2 here. He's the BR Tower. Only 2 kills away for his team. Now 1 kill remaining as they're going to look to clean this up. I'm going to take a look, and they're finding a player on Library, likely going to double team that, and they do. Reality Check with an easy win there. They win 50-30. Quite a lead there, but I got to say, Dave, that's some of the most disciplined lockdown TS gameplay I've seen in a while, right? It's going to be frustrating for the enemy team, but they really held it together. I think they knew exactly what their top priority was at all times. They didn't stray from that plan, and then ultimately it won them the game by 20 kills.
I was very impressed because even had that been, let's say, one of the top teams, let's say like CLG or Evil Geniuses, I don't know how they would have gotten a pick and broke that setup.
Right.
I was trying to find different angles where, all right, where if even with our spectator view right here. We can see every screen, like, where would I actually get a pick off? And I could not really find a great spot.
Yeah, that's why you look so confused the whole match. And that must have been it. 18-9 from Shooter. Great game from him. He also put up 12 assists. That's not only the most in the game, but the only player to hit double digits. So big stuff from Shooter there. And I think what really, to Reality Check's credit, they were even better. They were ready for an even better push. They had 2 players in front library entrance at all times. So if a player went top blue or went top middle to snipe, which was the case, that's exactly what happened from story time, they immediately melted that player, right? They stopped that threat in its tracks. So I think Reality Check definitely with a quality setup there ultimately wins them the game.
We've seen a lot of top pro teams do that now too, where they'll set 2 players top library entrance because they realize, all right, as soon as we hear that blue lift, we can double team BR with these long range BRs.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons that players can actually put 2 players in teams can put 2 players in library. I think it's almost like you have a go bag and you're just ready to go. And when a player dies, you're just in library entrance. You're like, hey, you ready to go? And you push out to snipe 3, or you immediately go top mid. Right? You could even double players who might have got behind you on open ramp. There's a lot of scenarios you can do there. So kind of just sitting in library entrance gives you a lot of options instead of having your roamer back BR bridge, right? It gives you a lot of agility. You can move immediately.
I didn't think about the versatility there, but it makes a lot of sense because when I analyze that now, like you said, you can push top if you have to. You can melt anyone across map. You're ready to make
you can poke out S3 and just melt the sniper in 2 shots.
Even worst case, let's say your other 2 teammates at BR Tower get picked off. It's going to be tough to take down 2 players who are in library that are working together because they should be able to melt the first person that comes in.
I mean,
it's very difficult to coordinate pushes inside there.
Oh, it is. And you can those 2 players can focus top mid. They can instead turn their backs, focus back BR. You can really cut off the ankles there.
Yeah. So very impressive. Great job by Reality Check. Very disciplined play by them.
Yep.
They'll be moving on to losers bracket round 4.
Yep, that's right. And we're going to have more losers bracket matches going on today, as well as likely some winners bracket matches happening tonight. We'll get some of the top teams back on the stage. Thank you so much for sticking with us here at the UGC 20K live from St. Louis, Missouri. Thank you for joining us here on Twitch, of course, and a big shout out to our friends at Twitch for making this event possible, as well as everyone here at UGC. We'll be back with more 4v4 action in just a bit.